Josh, now that you guys have had a chance to watch some of the tape from Saturday's game, what stood out for you from that performance?
I think the biggest thing is effort. Our kids played extremely hard, something that we talked about going into the football game. And for 4 quarters, our guys forgot about the previous play and just continued to play and play really hard. I thought the energy and emotion that they brought to the game was critical and was a big part of us finishing the game the way that we wanted to.
Coach, can you speak more about the effort from your offensive line? You had, 3 guys basically starting their first games, and for all things considered, I thought they played really well. What did you think?
I did. I had a couple of protection busts that we can clean up. Tight ends and running backs are included in that as well. I thought they were physical, communicated pretty well for most of the day. With all the changing parts that we had during training camp and moving guys around, I was really pretty pleased with what they did up front. Played with great effort too. So, like the direction that group's had.
Coach, sticking with the offensive line, Sam Jackson played at 4 spots, at least 15 snaps at each of those spots. What can you say about Sam, his work in that game, and just playing at all 4 spots?
Yeah, smart, competitive. The ability to move around like you said and really be in the flow of the game immediately when he changes over to that position. His versatility, we talked about it during the course of training camp. It's critical for us and being able to rotate guys and keep us relatively fresh up there too so that we can play as hard as we need to. I thought, Sam's performance was really, really good along with the other guys.
Josh, how would you describe Dylan's development as a runner? We got an opportunity to take off and with the football a couple times in that game. How much is that scripted, and how much is that his kind of his ability to do it on the fly?
Some of those things happen. Protection, getting up and out and scrambling and making plays. I thought our wide receivers did a great job on scramble drill, working their rules and making competitive plays. Marlon on the between the numbers and sideline with a huge grab. We were backed up inside of a 15-yard line. Dylan's speed is a weapon for us, and part of that's in design quarterback run. Some of that's reading, maybe a pressure off of the edge. Some of it's in the pocket when it breaks down, and something's not there going and making a play. I think from where he started a year ago, his comfort level and understanding just how to play the game and when it's the right time. Those are all things that take time, but he finished the season that way, and he started week 1, further ahead than he had ended last season.
Josh, we talked a little about Joshua Seliskar after the game, but a few other freshmen started. Corey Thornton, Lokai on the offensive line. Some freshmen saw a little bit playing time at the end. Talk about their development and what they were able to do on Saturday.
I do. I think our freshmen that maybe redshirted a year ago or had an opportunity to play in 4 ball games. I think their growth and comfort and understanding what we're doing, they're completely different players than they were a year ago. Really look at those guys as seasoned players. The freshmen that are getting an opportunity to play right now, some of those guys, Corey was a mid-year guy, hasn't acted like a freshman or played like a freshman since he got here. The true freshman that got here in June, Josh Salazar, those guys, I think, benefited from the COVID rules where we were able to start getting those guys into our Zoom meetings and get situated, comfortable with what we were doing schematically before they were even able to get on campus and get their feet on the grass with our football team. I think that's a part of the reason that they're playing the way that they are. The other reason is they're really mature guys that are fiercely competitive and compete every day on the practice field. And they've earned the opportunity to play.
Going back to the offensive line, Matt Lee starting his first game as a redshirt freshman at center. Specifically, what did you see from Matt?
Smart, the ability to recognize and communicate and get all of our double teams, our combinations to the right people. Did a great job in pass protection as well. And he plays extremely physical. He's in great shape, has the ability to play an entire football game and be ready to play some more. He's got a great ceiling ahead of him and look, for him to continue to develop.
Josh, now that you've been through COVID protocol for a game week and specifically game day, how much changes from that standpoint as you're getting ready for football games on Saturdays?
Lots of little things that we'll tweak from a week ago. But I think our guys have a great understanding of what the week's going to look like, how subtly their day is going to be a little bit different. Today everybody had a test here this afternoon. Guys were great in the meetings and on the field here this morning, but it's unique. At 9:30, we had a team meeting on Saturday. Let them know that everybody had passed the test and what was going on the other side of the field, and get ready to go play. So it's different, but our guys have gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable and things being different, and obviously they handled it and performed really well.
Coach, do you have an update on the status of Trey Nixon?
Don't. We'll have one here later in the week as we continue to figure out more with his situation.
Coach, in seasons past, you've mentioned that the biggest leaps in improvement are often early in the season between 1 week, 2 week, 2 week, 3. What would you hope to see? What's the thing you would hope to see jump out most in the next leap between 1 and 2?
Yeah, it certainly can be early in the season as guys, get on the playing field for the first time, and a high school kid that's seeing the speed of the game. I think our guys, all your weaknesses, all your vulnerabilities can be shown in those moments, early in the season. And guys have an opportunity to see it on tape, not just see somebody else do it, but see themselves in those situations. And the urgency from our football team to continue to improve in all those ways is extremely critical here going into week 2. And offensively, the penalties, getting us behind the chains. You want to see those things eliminated, the turnovers that we had. We can eliminate those things too. And that's all 11 guys. It's not just a guy with the ball in his hands. Defensively, some of the coverage things that we busted on, we can shore those things up. And, for us, it's a process. Find a way to go 1-0 every week, and the only way you do that is go 1-0 every day. And that's been our focus.
Josh, we were talking about Dylan's ground game performance, but what did you make of Otis Anderson and the rest of the running backs, what they did against Georgia Tech on Saturday?
Thought they did a great job pressing the line of scrimmage and delivering some of those blocks critically to the second level. That's why you open up and have some of those holes that they had. I thought they ran physical. They found a way to be +1, +2 at the end of most of their runs, and that changes the way the game's played on third down. Instead of being in 3rd and 5, you're in 3rd and 2. Instead of being in 3rd down, 1 to 2, you're in 1st down and on to the next play. So really like what they did. Thought they did a great job of protection as well.
Josh, we know that the public Josh Heupel talks about going 1-0 and controlling what you can control, but after that performance on the road against an ACC team, does the private Josh Heupel get a little ticked off at the rankings?
Didn't find out until I was talking to Mike this morning about the rankings. We have no control over it. I've said it since we've been here. I think our kids, for the most part, pay little attention to that and understand that if we go take care of business, things will change throughout the course of the season. Big win for us last Saturday. Last Saturday has nothing to do with this Saturday, and get ourselves prepared to go play. That's the public and private Josh Heupel speaking right there.
Hey, Josh, is there any concern from you about any potential letdown going from playing a team like Georgia Tech to a team like East Carolina?
So, just look at what East Carolina did the second half of last season. Put up a bunch of points, played in a bunch of tight football games, found ways to win some of them. Year 2 for their staff. They've had a long off season. I know that they're going to be excited to play this one. Our guys got to surpass that energy and excitement. And, it's the only one we get an opportunity to play this week. Our kids will be excited and ready to prepare the right way.
Josh, I was wondering about Georgia Tech, if anyone or anything stood out to you, and particularly I was curious for your thoughts about the offensive line compared to what you saw from them last year on film.
Talking about Georgia Tech?
Yes.
I think they as a program continue to get better. I said that going into the football game. In every position group, in both sides of the football, I thought that they had improved from a year ago. And, obviously, sorry they were able to go down to Tallahassee and get a big win.
When you broke after spring and Dylan went home for the extended period, what he accomplished at home, how important was that for what he brought back to camp when he first started?
Yeah, a big part of why he played the way he did this past Saturday. When you call him, he was working out. He found a way to go throw and continued to improve. Spent a ton of time with quarterback coach, Coach Halsley, and preparing the right way mentally. And I think that's why there's been such tremendous growth in just his understanding of all things related to playing the quarterback position here this year.
Coach, I know you're going into things a little blind, being that this will be ECU's first game of the season, but what do you expect from those guys on Saturday?
Yeah, for first ball game from them, new defensive coordinator. So not sure what you're going to get on that side of the football. Offensively, quarterback that played really well down the stretch last year, explosive at the skill position, and their first opportunity to play. I know they're going to be excited, and I said that earlier. It's going to be unique for our players, right? An empty venue, nobody in the stands. Talked about creating energy and momentum and sustaining that a week ago. It's going to be critical in this game too.